Okay.
All right, I call the PANDA board meeting for March 9th to order. The first item on the agenda is approval of the minutes of the January board meeting. Everybody get a look at the minutes?
I sent them out yesterday.
I didn't get,
I sent them.
You did send them.
yes.
I sent them.
You did.
Yeah,
Sent
can you
to
resend
you,
them
to
me?
you, to you, to you,
All right.
to you,
Yeah.
to you,
Yeah, I got
and
them.
somebody named Judy.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I can second that he sent them.
Okay.
Can you resend them? Because
All
I
right, we
didn't
will-
get them.
I got them. Would you approve them?
We'll approve the minutes
approve
next
them.
month. All right, we'll postpone that till next month. I'll make a note,
Okay.
January and February next month. All right, the treasurer's report, second item.
Okay, you all have the treasurer's report. And we had gotten the check from the town of Red Hook, so that shows there. And we have some income from the sale of DVDs and an old computer. So we have $80 that we weren't even anticipating.
Wow.
So, yeah, right.
If they want another computer, I have one on the shelf I'm looking to get rid of.
Yeah, because it's hard getting rid of this stuff.
Yeah.
I
I
didn't
have a
even
whole
know.
bunch of equipment back there that I'm trying to sell on Craigslist.
I'll find out. So everything else is sort of, we haven't had a lot of bills. You'll notice under insurance, it's all zeros. I have some bills, but I don't want to pay them until I talk with Bill Dowden, because he's switching us from, on one of these lines, he's switching us to another carrier and saving us $1,500. And I have a feeling that I got the old bill as well as the new bill, and I don't want to pay both, so I have to figure out which one needs to be paid. So I'm gonna make an appointment to talk with Bill and get those paid. But in the meantime, everything else is okay,
And
and,
our bill said that the check from the town of Rhinebeck is being worked on,
okay.
right?
The invoice had been sitting in someone's mailbox since January, and then when I asked
Because we sent it
last
January
week,
19th.
is when they asked said person to check her mailbox and
Okay.
cut a check, so
Yeah.
you should be getting a check soon.
Good.
I wonder why it went to her mailbox instead
It
of...
goes to the liaison's mailbox,
Oh, I see, okay.
or that's where they put it.
Right.
You probably sent it to the town clerk, probably,
I
right?
did.
Right, and they put it in.
Exactly, yeah.
So
And,
that money should be coming soon.
so now we have
The
one...
check is in the mail.
Yeah,
Check.
okay, but we appreciate that. And we have one copy of the bank statement instead of three, because the three was really redundant. But you'll see that our balance is a lot healthier this month. So you can all take a look at it and pass it around.
Should I keep, I'm supposed to be
then-
responsible for keeping those, right?
Yeah, this
Right.
gets attached to the minutes.
I get one too, yeah.
Oh,
Big statement?
for the minutes. To be attached to the minutes.
Yeah, you should
Okay.
get one.
Everybody want to look at it?
And
Yes.
my, so, yeah, can you, you can make a copy for me.
Yeah, yeah, that works.
My
And-
town likes to see them.
Okay.
Have any other questions about the treasurer's report?
Just, this is really, I apologize, but the cable service,
Mhm.
that's,
I know.
It's
I
still
talk to David
running.
Whalen every 2 or 3 weeks, and I bring it up every 2 or 3 weeks. As soon as we get our wish lists to David, the franchise agreement can move on. Then the only thing it needs is for Time Warner to sign off on the equipment or get us cheaper.
and they have
equipment.
that. They
No,
have-
no, I'm waiting for the municipalities. Every week I send all of us an email saying, find out from a municipality what we need. I gotta get that to
What's
David
missing?
Whalen.
What municipality are missing?
Village of Red Hook, but Mayor Blundell is going to call me back. And
So you've been working on that,
I have been, he just sent me an email yesterday that he'd give me a call very shortly.
Do you have Red Hooks?
No, I do not have Red Hook yet.
But what I'm working on is this.
I just picked that up because he had no rep, so I picked that up.
What I'm working on is this. Originally, the town of Rhinebeck, remember when we all met November of 2014?
Yeah.
That's how long this is going back.
Yeah, no,
November of
no.
2014 in Red Hook.
Yes.
And as many of the supervisors and and
Mayors.
mayors came as, I think we're only missing one person. And so we've been working on these lists since then. At that meeting, it was mentioned that one municipality was interested in hearing, sound equipment for the hearing impaired. You see them at churches, and Rhinebeck Reformed has that. So I called the AV person at Rhinebeck Reformed and asked, are you happy with the listening system? They said, sure. And they put me in touch with an outfit in New Paltz that does not only listening systems, but sound systems and audiovisual projectors. So in talking to the guy, I told him, well, the town of Rhinebeck is interested in a couple of things. And I know the village of Rhinebeck is interested in at least one thing, and they're right across the street from each other. So he asked me to take photographs of town hall and take measurements and how high the ceiling and all this stuff, and what equipment they have and where the speakers are, everything. And I said that to him. And he said, you know what, I'd still like to do a site survey. I want to come out and see the town of Rhinebeck, because very likely your equipment is good, but it's not tweaked perfectly, Or maybe you need a couple of things and you don't need a whole new sound system. And I said, and I don't know anything about this, so I don't know if we need a mobile projector or one that's fixed in the ceiling, which is a lot more expensive, of course. So I said, could you take a look at that too? She said, okay, I'll try to come up. I said, if you come up, would you mind then if I can line up all the other municipalities on that day? The village of Rhinebeck is across the street. I already took photographs. I mean, take a look at what they want. I would like for you to be there and speak for the village of Rhinebeck and say, well, they're looking for a projector.
Did you speak to the Morton Library?
They're not happy with theirs. It's 10 years old.
Oh, but it's wireless and it's in the...
Yeah, but so I told this fella from New Paltz about the Morton Library. Star Library has one too. And I said, can you just look at... I said, if I can line up all the municipalities, can you look at each one? But we'll tell you what each one wants. I'm not going to go to the village of whatever and then guess what they want, because I'm not going to do that.
Right.
I need, what does each municipality want? He's going to try to come Monday. I'll know by Friday. If he's coming Monday, if he comes Monday, it'll be like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He can knock off the town and village of Rhinebeck. And then I'll bring him up to the town of Red Hook and the village of Red Hook and Tivoli Monday.
And this is his business to do this?
Yeah, they do all this, and I told him, I said, we're not paying for this. You got to give us... You can't make a killing on us, because then we'll never get any of this stuff. You have to itemize it, give it to me. What I think we should do then is take it separately from his itemized thing, because it's probably going to be a bid, and just give it to Time Warner as the village of such and such wants this thing, this model with these accessories. Once we have a list I know I have your list.
My list.
What the Panda Studio wants. We're waiting for the 5 munis. Once we get that and send it to David Whalen, we're done. That's it. Then we wait on them to set up dates of when we meet, when we sign, what is it contingent on? Is it contingent on the equipment? Because he told me, you can ask for something that's $10,000. If we can find something equal to that, that's $6,000, that's what we're going to buy you. We're not going to buy you the $10,000 one.
Right.
So from the guy from New Paltz, I want him to give us the high-end price and the middle price, not the low end.
But really, the critical thing is Panda.
Panda, she's got her list already.
My list is in.
But yeah, she's got her list complete.
The HD transmission equipment, that's what we need.
I mean, we need to set, draw a line and set a deadline. And if they don't want to move fast enough, they're just given an opportunity to make a bid. Otherwise, we can't wait around for months or wait for.
But the reason we've been waiting for so many years,
What?
He said Monday.
because we've been waiting since '97,
No, I know.
is that to be fair to Time Warner, it's not like we were haranguing them since 1997, but we did start haranguing them in 2006.
That's right.
So already it's been a decade
That's 10
of
years, yeah.
this, and so next week, hopefully, if this guy from New Paltz, his name is Bill, if he can come up on Monday and we can do all the munis, but everybody's gotta help.
Yeah, we better-
Then we'll get that list of Time Warner, and then that's
But
it,
if
we're
they,
done.
but they need to know, if they're not gonna submit by Monday, we're just moving ahead.
No, I'm not saying that we're gonna submit by Monday, but
No, I mean.
I need to give us a deadline.
They need to give you what you need next week, because we need to move ahead. You
Once
know,
I have
and
this-
we've been waiting 10 years on this.
because we wanna do
My
before
guess is that
charter.
Red Hook Village probably won't need anything, because they got the most modern setup there.
Yeah, they have a projector.
They've
and
got
sound
everything,
system.
you know.
But they could always
He didn't
update.
understand, he said.
You can ask him,
Monday to
does he need
Friday,
more
And
mics?
then he's going to bring enough
You
to
know,
cover,
do they
so-
need mics, or do they,
But,
you know,
Listen to
so
what
it'd
he's
be a
saying.
combination of what
Listen
is
what he's
a
saying.
possibility for the municipality and what this guy might suggest.
right,
That
because
they-
you know, for me to do it, I'm just not good at this, that's not what I
No,
know.
it's
not your field.
That's not fair.
And so it's nice of this guy to offer to come up, because
Well, that's-
I said, look, what's in it for you? If I can throw
Good.
5 municipalities, you know,
Okay, so
and remember,
he's-
we're nonprofit. I
So
said to-
he's compensated then when we purchase,
If Time Warner buys, see, I don't wanna push
If
it too
Time
much,
Warner
if
buys
Time
it.
Warner buys it from his
Yeah.
company,
right.
they can very well go, well, we can get this at an outfit that we buy a lot of stuff from and get it from them.
Yeah, right.
But at least we have a model number, because that's what's been holding us back, is Time Warner was always telling us, tell us what you want, but they mean specifically.
Right.
But Mark's question
I
is,
I just don't want him to all of a sudden say, to compensate for his hours that day that he's coming up.
No, I've been very clear with them.
$500, please.
No, no, no,
That's
no,
not
no,
gonna happen.
no, 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 no.
Okay.
The bill's
Because
saying
remember,
they
the
won't
reason I
pay.
found them is through
We
the
don't pay
church,
anything.
because we found them through the church.
It's-
Because the church is happy with the work that the company does,
Yeah, so it's a
so
referral.
he's not gonna burn us.
As long as he gets compensated too, we don't.
He's not gonna get compensated for Friday, he only gets compensated if Time Warner decides to buy all that equipment from his company.
so,
good.
You know,
but Mark's question was different. Mark's
Which is what?
question was, they were paying $500 a month for cable. which
Right.
is the most
that's part
absurd.
of the franchise agreement when it gets resigned. He's not gonna, I get the feeling he's not going to appease us until everything's done.
Yeah, and actually we're down
It's
to
like a package deal.
500.
Okay, but I
Yeah.
just think,
It's
you
not
know,
bad.
do everything we can to get it done now, because,
Monday is-
you know, because who knows a month from now.
No, Monday's,
Where we'll
Monday
be.
is,
It's about
he's trying to come Monday.
Oh.
371.
If we could do it Monday and I can get a list
Danielle
to Time Warner on
negotiated some
Tuesday,
stuff.
So,
we're done.
but
Oh,
to do
good.
that is,
And
so
eliminate
the
it.
people that you're waiting on need to understand,
Time-
this is now deadline. This
Correct.
is for
Yeah, in other
now.
words, every
No more
representative.
putting it off or anything like that, anybody.
Because, yeah, if Monday,
Yeah.
for some reason, yeah, well, I can't be there, well, you know what, that's it. If
Yeah,
you don't tell me
that's
by
it.
Tuesday, your municipality gets nothing.
Yeah, you'll just lose out on that opportunity. and
Because
that's
10
fine.
years, 10 years is a long time.
It's up to us too then to contact our
Right.
municipality.
Yeah, and ask
Right.
them, you know,
You can confirm
If
this.
there's
It could be
anything,
anything,
let
anything
them know that
that's-
somebody's coming down to do site surveys
Right.
if they're interested.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got Ed Blundell, you got.
I got Ed Blondell and I started working with Robin Bruno at the Village of Tivoli too, because I
Okay.
just ran into her in the street and told her what was going on. So I'll fill you in on that, Chris.
And we still have
Okay.
the B1000 on that list, right?
Yes.
That's the key.
Now Danielle just said that, Mary Ann said that Danielle talked to Time Warner and refined the bill and got it down to $371 a month,
Yeah.
They'll find some
which
reason to raise it
I'll-
back
which is
up
still a
again.
ripple.
Next
Yeah.
week, when I send the
still a
list,
rip-off, but
next
it's-
week, when I
it's better,
send the
but
list to
yeah.
David
It's better.
Whalen, as I always do every 2 weeks, and when are you gonna bring the price down of cable? It's killing us.
Yeah, it still
I told-
is,
it's killing
definitely. But we also had equipment in here that had never been used, but we were being charged for it every month until Danielle realized.
That was when I first started.
Yes,
I mean, when they
I
came
remember
in, they
that.
dropped
That's a
off
big
extra
point.
boxes, extra remotes, and all that
Right.
stuff was
Right.
on the back shelf, not being used,
Oh,
and we were being charged
Oh,
per
right.
month for those
That's
service
a big
charges.
point. yeah.
That was the one way I got it down, and then we actually had to increase our internet speeds to handle, since we started uploading to YouTube, so then our bill went back up, but then they changed the prices of that, so then it went back down, so it fluctuates, but it's usually between 300 and 450 a month.
You have to call and yell at them every year,
Yeah.
and tell them, you know, it's too high, what can you do?
so you're paying what now?
71?
271. That's still over 4,000 a year.
From
Still
what,
a
from
lot.
what did you bring it down?
From over 500.
Really?
Yeah, so that's good.
But really, we shouldn't pay anything.
We shouldn't pay anything.
Right.
They're supposed to provide us with service.
That's right.
It's absurd that we pay anything,
I agree.
you know.
Well, it's a big deal. Okay.
All right, any other questions? I have a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I make a motion to approve it.
Do I have a second?
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye, aye, aye.
Okay, the treasurer's report is approved. Next item on the agenda is the station manager's report.
Our programming, that's been given to us has gone down this month. It's down to a number, we've got 23 new programs, it's not a number I like to see, it's usually over 30. So that was a little disappointing. That goes to next month's. The other question I had is if I could replace this table, because it's literally held together by duct tape and it's gonna collapse on somebody one day.
It's a hazard.
So I thought maybe I could ask the board if that was a possibility. I do have a Sam's Club membership and they go for significantly cheaper at Sam's Club than they do in Walmart and other places. It's like $80 or something.
Will they give you a nonprofit discount? They will, right? No, well, they don't charge tax then.
Well,
I,
that's it.
Yes,
That-
they
That's
do.
it, you don't pay the
Yeah, bring
tax.
the
If, no, if you show them,
okay.
If you have a number.
Yeah,
of
that
tax.
sounds okay.
you have the tax ID.
Yeah, right. Should be
Sounds good.
So you need permission from us to buy a new Lord separate table?
No, if I'm gonna go buy DVDs, then it's obvious that I'm gonna buy DVDs, but I didn't wanna go out and buy a table without asking.
Oh,
Sure.
sounds good.
Yeah, it's necessary. This is gonna fall into somebody's
Phil
lap
could
one
press
day.
too hard with his pen,
Right.
we could have a
It'll
problem.
fall down.
Really?
I've also had 2 BARD
Seems
students
fine.
shadowing me for the last couple of
Hmm?
months. I've had 2 BARD students shadowing me for the last couple of months for a paper that they're writing for class. So they came in and did a full interview with me this morning, so that was kind of cool.
And you have a
That's
girl on
nice.
Friday from
Yep, and we have Laura in on Fridays
For
from
an article?
Marist College.
Marist.
Jim, our new technical director, is also a Marist professor. So he got in touch with the dean and Marist College Television, and he's been bringing in a lot of programs from there too. I think we've gotten maybe
He's a Marist professor? or-
Marist, yeah. I know we have 2 from last week, and he just emailed me Dropbox links for 3 more, which I'm going to try to turn around and get on the air this weekend because one of them is very time sensitive. It was about Super Tuesday, a news program, so I thought that would be interesting. So hopefully we'll be getting more programming from Marist College.
What's Jim's last name?
Biffle, B-I-F-F-L-E,
He's great.
thank you.
Now, one unfortunate thing, which is why we'd like to have the new Time Warner equipment, I just got an email that they're having an election discussion narrated by a Poughkeepsie Journal editor on Friday night at Rhinebeck Town Hall between the 6 candidates. The only election we
Really?
have this year is Rhinebeck Village, and if we had live transmission capabilities, if we had some of the stuff we're talking about, but to try to shoot it and then edit it and get it up on the air by Sunday when it's supposed to come down, that's the last time we transmit.
Live is another round. We can ask. I'll
Yeah.
ask Monday
Yeah.
about
I
going
thought we
live.
had the capacity to go live.
From
Here,
here,
from here.
from here.
Oh, that's right.
But not, they're inviting the audience to
That's
come,
good,
bring
yeah.
questions,
Right.
you know, it could be 100 people, it's
It'd
not
be cool if
possible.
they could put
Although
a
if
live
you-
drop in all the.
If you had
Live
the
drop,
we won't
new,
do
the new
that.
Probably not
TriCaster,
gonna do that.
you could do it pretty easily.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, you just record it, somebody is switching, while it happens and it's done, and then she can play it. In other words, you don't have to go live, but you can go
Would you be able to go
time
live with that
delay,
on the
like a
internet?
3-hour delay or something.
The TriCaster can't go live on the internet,
the
right? It goes
TriCaster
live-
doesn't go live.
It only goes
It
live.
only goes live from here
Not-
because we have a
not
live
this
drop
one.
here.
Not this one.
The new TriCaster, does that have?
I'm not sure. It
I don't
might.
think that has live capabilities. I think you would still need that live drop to patch into it in order to go
I
live.
might have to check it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did, because it's all Wi-Fi.
But it would have been nice if we could have either captured it somehow and run it all weekend, it
Yes.
would have been fun, but we don't have the
Well, again, with
we don't have the ability to
that,
do
one
that.
pass, you can do it. Put the cameras up, get them set right, and just do it. So somebody making the switches while it happens, and then there's no editing or
Well,
anything.
hopefully in the future, we'll be
Yeah.
able to do that.
that's-
See, if this were one town, they would probably put in a video drop. Like if it was like
That's
Saturdays where it's
towns.
one place, And Saugerty is their public access station, happens to be in the same place where City Hall is, where the police department is, well, that's perfect. They can go live from,
Well,
Yeah, but-
you know where it used to be?
what, the one that's,
Rhinebeck Town Hall.
oh,
Right, but the,
Cage.
Oh, we need that cage back.
is that cage our cage?
it should be.
It should be, yes.
No, it should be,
Because
because it was,
if we move to a new location,
We're gonna need
Oh,
that.
we'd like to have that cage secure the
Hold some
equipment.
prisoners.
I'll check it, I'll
Check
I'll
that.
check this
Oh,
week.
no.
No?
It's still
I wanna put the.
It's still there,
We're
it's
gonna be in a
probably-
new building.
Probably.
And who else knows who's gonna be in that building and who's gonna have access to that building, so I wanna put all the equipment in the cage when we move.
Yeah.
Smart.
When we move.
You and I must know
That's,
each other.
that's coming on the agenda.
Is it really?
Alright, so we already talked about finding a replacement for Ted.
Did we?
Yes,
Yep,
And what's the
Yes.
upshot?
Mark.
Oh, you are?
so when I
Do
talked
we
to
have to
Mayor
vote him in?
Blundell, they have to vote him
Oh,
in.
they have to vote
But Mayor Blundell was up for the idea, so he's gotta bring it to the board's attention.
for the village of Redham,
Yes.
but that's not, okay.
So
We're
We
proposing
talked
it.
about the Time Warner
All right,
contract.
the first grant has been submitted. I got Danielle, I dropped it off to one of the board members. They're meeting to be getting there in April, I think early April. And hopefully we'll get, it's $5,730. It was for a lot of,
5,700?
5,700.
Wow.
It was for,
That's about what we had last year.
That's
Yeah,
not
I know,
what I had
but
last
to do
year.
another one.
it's
Good
for
job.
one high-end camera, and then we got nervous that all we have is the high-end cameras, and we're loaning them out to the public.
Mhm.
And so I think it was Jim, our technical support guy, recommended these $500 Canon camcorders, which are great cameras, good for the public, and we should say we could loan those out to the public to shoot their programs. And we could
Nobody
save the
ever does
high-end
that.
ones for our mission, our board meetings and our other events around
I
town.
had somebody taking out equipment over the winter, and they were coming back with the camera mounted on the tripod and leaving it in the car in the garage,
No.
mounted on the
In
tripod.
the cold.
So even if it's just one person, it's good to have the camera,
Jeez.
the $500 camera to give out than a
Yeah, no,
$2,500
okay, I
camera.
get that, yes.
And the rest of it was equipment for the cameras, microphones, cases, 4 new tripods. Our tripods are falling apart, some new microphones, and some external storage and backup drives
That's
for the
good.
2 Macs, which we don't have. And it's so cheap, 3 terabytes is like, I forget, $80 or something
Plenty.
like that. So we can back up all the movies, because the movies take a lot of space.
So the equipment on the Frost grant list is not the same equipment?
Nothing is
Okay.
duplicated.
Okay.
Nothing is
There,
too
unless, the only case is, like, I did ask for more storage because I asked for another computer. So the Time Warner list has another computer on there, so I asked for another storage device for that computer. So you will see storage and maybe a DVD drive or something like that that's duplicated, but it's not gonna be excess, it's all gonna get put to
What
use.
kind of sound recording do you have when you shoot?
Well, the shotgun mics that come with the cameras are pretty good. I also have 2 wireless mics, we've asked for 2
No,
more.
but I mean, do you have like a XLR Zoom?
Oh, no, I know what you're talking about, like the handheld MP4 recorders.
Something you can go
I don't
remote
have
or do
one,
it here and
but
it's
Jim has
professional
one.
quality?
And that's actually, if you've seen our new station IDs, that's actually how we recorded the voiceovers for our new station IDs, so we have access to one.
That might be something to think about with equipment. You know, is digital sound that hooks up to any digital camera and also is transportable, like the remote, it's only $289, I think, you know, XLR, it's a great one.
Yeah,
The Zoom,
I think
yeah,
even if,
something like that.
we could probably
Professional-
even buy it on our own
You
at that
could do it
price.
3 feeds, you know.
Yeah.
Right. Remember, we still have
Right.
$5,000 allocated for equipment in our budget, which if we get the first one, we can reduce some of that. And with the $1,500 and the cable bill going down, we might be able to get down to operating in the black, which would be, you know,
Good.
significant.
And if it's only
plus.
$287, then we could probably just pay that out of our own equipment line, or wait till next year. But for the meantime, we do have access to one that I can use if needed.
I just, you know, it's beating a dead horse, but I still think, you know, the B1000 and the TriCaster are the 2 huge items.
Those are the things that
Would
we
really make a
need.
huge difference here.
If Time Warner is only willing to spring for that and not the
Well,
municipalities.
if
you know.
No.
if we end up short
They
of
wanna
them,
They
I
have
think
to.
we have
It's
to
been-
try
they
and
have
think of
to.
some way to deal with it.
20
You're
years.
supposed to do that.
Yeah, it's 20 years. No.
We've never asked them for equipment before, they have to give it to
They have-
us.
Yes.
Yeah,
They have.
We have asked for it.
We haven't gotten.
not really. We've never asked for it.
Not formally.
Not
Not
yeah,
formally,
We never have asked,
exactly.
in the 20 years, 19 years, we've never asked for it formally.
about
Right.
that?
Yeah,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
we're the only ones who have ever tried to renegotiate a new agreement.
Right.
No, that's
It was
not
always
true.
just talked about.
No, back in 2006. there
That's
was-
what
They
we're
were just
talking about.
talked about.
Yeah,
It was just talked about, and he,
nothing ever.
remember, he's got 630 some odd stations. He's not going to remind us that we've
Oh,
been.
no, I understand that,
Yes,
something
you know.
else, I get that. Absolutely, you know.
And I was worried that when Charter takes over, that he's going to leave.
Right, that's
He's
the
gonna
point.
try to stay. So that's good, that'll give us some continuity. I wanna get it in before Charter takes over, though.
Exactly.
But he's gonna try to stay.
When?
He thinks it might happen by summer.
Right, that's the word.
That's why we have to
Get
jump
this
on
done.
this.
That's why it's really, we gotta
Yes.
not get hung up on waiting on all these other.
And we have to get the municipalities to sign the
That's right.
contract.
Go ahead, you know, yeah.
You know.
Then it's a matter of just him getting
Really-
back.
Really the urgent priority here.
It is. Tell them
Like, I'm surprised that the guy he suggested that works for Time Warner, the fellow you talked to, the tech guru, didn't give you like, or did he give you models? of
No, he
things,
gave me
model
the
numbers
he
and-
gave me the number for somebody that set up their system in New Jersey.
Yeah,
and
that's not the same thing.
It's not something I would
Because
even
you
wanna
really
work
have,
with.
a guy like him needs to come out and do a site survey with us, so we could say, okay, I see what your needs are.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do business with that company. They were rude and very unprofessional.
Okay.
All right, so hopefully we'll hear sometime next month positively, you know, see what happens.
So,
And Bill and I took a tour of possibly moving into another facility. It's still being worked on, the facility's still being worked on, not our admission into it. I think that's pretty confident that people want us to be there. There's a lot of paperwork that's been going on taking possession of the new facility. So as soon as we have more information on that, I'll be able to talk
and
more
you
about that.
discussed, negotiated a price at rental? or-
Not yet, they know that we're paying
600.
600 a month here and we can't afford that, so they're aware of that.
Okay.
And, but having a paying customer, even for a moderate amount of money, would be an asset to them and a benefit to them having us come there, and they're aware of that too.
So when this happens, hopefully this will happen.
Hopefully this summer, hopefully.
Whenever, you know, once it's happened, it's news. I mean, that really should be,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know, in the local whatever.
it will
Not
be.
just Panda, but, you know.
Well, Time Warner, I've been going to some of the meetings that I've been going to, and Time Warner's been sending camera people down for hot button items for their news stations and stuff like that. So, you know, being a Time Warner affiliate, we should definitely figure out who we can talk to have a camera person sent down.
Well,
Maybe
they-
Hudson Valley News,
They have a
HBNN.
news bureau, if you wanna call it that, in Kingston.
Is that the HBNN?
It's-
Hudson Valley
it's-
News Network?
It's their,
That's not Kingston, that's,
no, they have one in Kingston, you know, where you pay your
Middletown.
bills and you buy, and you can pick up.
Oh, through Time Warner, okay.
Yeah, Time Warner has a little studio over there.
Really?
oh, there's a.
Everything's
studio?
based out of Middletown, New York.
Middletown.
Yeah, all the people that
Everything's
I've
based
met
out
have
of
come
Mid-
from
But they have a
Middletown.
reporter and camera person in
Oh.
Middleton, in Kingston.
Interesting.
I'm
So
sorry.
yeah, I mean,
I'm
you know,
sure.
is anybody good at
I'm
doing
sure-
press
yeah, I'm not.
releases?
What?
Is anybody okay with press releases?
You're looking at me.
Well, I was even gonna.
He's the publicist.
He's looking at
He's the publicist for Panda.
Let's get to that point.
When
If
you
we-
get to that point, yes, I'll be
Yeah.
happy.
If
I was
we
gonna
can-
suggest a ribbon cutting with the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
It'll be
Well, we are
Something
chamber
like that, that's
members,
an
both of
event.
them.
an
Absolutely.
event, yes, absolutely. If all this falls into place and by the summer or the fall, we're in a new home with new HD broadcasting equipment, with new equipment from the Frost grant, with a reduction in our budget to get us into the black, so we're not in the red, we will have come
Yeah.
quite a distance.
Yes.
2016 could be a real
Could be.
pivotal year for Panda to move us forward, so
Be a
I'm
really
excited
good
about
year.
that.
We'll have a party if it's happening.
We will. The campaign videos, well, they run through Sunday, that was our bylaws. Okay, and we got the Republican, no, but not the Republican, the Rhinebeck Together Party video, which has been running. We never received the video from the Rhinebeck Democrats. I don't know what happened there, but I spoke to
For the
the
village or the?
village. The only election this year is the village of Rhinebeck. Red Hook had 4-year terms, and Tivoli has an uncontested ballot. So it's one single slate, so there's no election per se, no contested election. The village of Rhinebeck has, the Rhinebeck Democrats have 3 candidates,
Right.
and the Rhinebeck Together Party has 3 candidates that are having a
Together
debate.
is just a euphemism for Republican?
Sort of.
They're actually, I think there's 1 Republican and 2 independents on it.
Okay.
I don't think, my personal opinion is this doesn't play in locally. It's not Democrats and Republicans. It's the best person that you know in your community that's going to do this job.
Basically agree with
That's
that.
right.
It's not, they shouldn't
Makes
be
no sense.
throwing stuff like Donald Trump's going to take over Rhinebeck if Republicans win or something.
He already has.
He already has. People get carried away, so.
Rhinebeck ran again.
So the election's Tuesday. I don't know when this video will be running, but if it's running by Tuesday, I think the election is at Rhinebeck Town Hall from noon to 9 o'clock. Please get out and vote.
It's a village election,
The
remind me.
Rhinebeck Village
But it's-
election.
But the
will be
election's at the town hall.
At Town Hall.
'Cause it's got
Rhinebeck Village
handicaps.
election.
Do you know what time it starts?
Noon to 9,
Whoa.
and it's Tuesday. So get out and vote if you live in the village of Rhinebeck.
If you.
All right, any other old business or new business to talk about?
Well, could you maybe go back a little bit, if you don't mind, talk about the new home for Panda, the space itself? How you,
Did you see the photographs that we sent about 3 weeks ago?
yeah. But it just, I don't know, have you done this before in the meeting? Describe the space, where you're feeling about what you saw?
Yeah, yes, we did. It's a pretty large space.
Yeah.
We'd have to petition it, or we'd have to figure out, I don't know all of the rules about how we move, how we get Time Warner to connect us, how we get, if we have to construct some things in there to do it, if we have to bring some power into it, how we do that. I took a tour of the back room there, and there's a huge panel box in there, but it's for the 220 volts for the 2 heating systems, the 220 for the hot water heater. All this equipment is not necessary. It's all heated and air conditioned. So it's
Yeah,
not-
that's what's up.
all it's going to be, there's only a couple of 20 amp circuits for the entire rack of equipment in there. So the electricity are quite minimal, what we need, but we might need a few circuits pulled. We have to figure that out. So when we
And
get
the
to that
spa-
point, logistics of the move, we'll have to work it out.
And the space is large, as large as.
2 large adjoining rooms.
It's twice as
very
large
high
as this
ceilings.
space.
Wow.
We just have to allocate how we're going to do it, because Danielle said it's very difficult when someone's trying to shoot something here, the phones are ringing, she's on the computer over
Yes,
here, to
yes.
give a petition of private space.
Yeah.
One of the rooms has a lot of windows, one of them doesn't, that could be the studio without the window part.
Right.
Look at that,
I
Can we-
did,
Show me.
yeah.
Can we make an appointment to see it as a group at some point?
we could. Let me just give them a little more time
Okay.
in the negotiations that are going to get the
So I'd like to
space.
sketch it out and kind of having a plan of my idea where.
It's got a large parking
everything's
lot,
gonna
so
go.
we have a
Big
special
parking
And it
lot.
event.
has capacity for other things, such as
That's
to
nice.
screen a movie or that sort of stuff, right?
It has a
The
large,
space does,
it has a ceiling mounted projector
Right.
in a large room.
Right.
It's huge, it's a huge space.
Yeah,
I would love to have a
That's
Panda
kind of
movie
tucked
night.
away.
That, when we can have
So
movie
that's what's
nights, we
exciting,
can do,
being able to
Itself
bring
is a
these
high
things
traffic
together.
town.
yes, we can be a major part of the community
Yeah.
Yeah.
when we do this.
Right.
And it's closer to the, it's right off Route 9, so it's more in the connected to the communities.
And
That's all.
once the place is, as I understand it, deconsecrated, right? Is it gonna be deconsecrated in 5 years? No, that's what they call it.
Yes,
Because it's gonna continue, they're gonna continue using it as a sanctuary for 5 years. It's a very big building, and part of it's got a sanctuary.
Right.
The sanctuary after 5 years, let's say we were still there, it's a perfect place to do, it's like an off Broadway theater stage.
yes.
Great.
Wow.
I mean, with a
We'll
playing
be there to help
field,
them film events or something.
you could have a town hall in that.
And it's got a whole
Right.
projection
Yeah.
studio, ceiling mounted projectors and stuff, it's all
We
fully
do
equipped.
film festival.
Yes, we can
Yeah.
have,
Where people could give certain talks.
we can do a
Yeah,
lot
you
of
could.
You know,
things.
about
Could,
certain
yeah.
things.
Make our
or,
own
you know, we-
programs.
Yeah, and we could then just tape it.
If this all comes to play, and I'm optimistic it's going to, can be a major difference in terms of Panda being part of the community. It's gonna be really great
Kind of
for
like
everybody.
Red Hook TED Talks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
John Vincent talks, you can call it.
Tivoli.
Vincent talks.
Tivoli Talks, that's actually, sounds good, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
And this will, even with our current situation here, Marty would like to get this space back. We have
Right.
no lease,
I don't blame
so
them.
we would just have to give him at least 30 days' notice, but he's anxious to get in
Right.
and renovate this
It's
for
understandable.
something else.
He's been fabulous.
Yeah, he
We just
has.
have to
He's
get-
saved this.
He's
station.
never
He
raised
saved
his
it.
rent either.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, because really, when we had to go, you know, we weren't finding anything.
Yeah.
This was the answer, that, you
Should
know,
name the
this was
station
really
after him.
deliverance, and it was him
What's his
really
last
that
name?
made it possible.
I think George would rather we do it.
Clark.
Yeah.
The Marty Clark Studios. Live from the Marty Clark Studios.
Any other old business or new business?
Well, it's just, there is a Red Hook Film Festival coming up?
During the Apple Blossom Festival.
Yes, so you're aware of that? I mean, that's something
I
that
go
we
every year.
plug into, yeah, okay. all right.
We promote it and go.
That same day, we're having the car show, commemorating Rhinebeck Speedway at the fairgrounds during the car show at the fairgrounds. We got a building, and we're gonna have a fun event, and we're gonna hire Jim to film the whole thing. It's gonna be really special, a lot of fun working out the
Well, that's
details.
where Joey Chitwood got started too.
I got slides, I got pictures, we're bringing at least 20 drivers who raced from 1947 to 1962 at the Rhinebeck Speedway. They're in their 80s, they're still alive, and a lot of them have their cars. They're gonna bring their midget and their stock cars to the show and their scrapbooks, and I just wanna film, I wanna get many, many hours of oral history and a nice program for Panda, some of the best stories. If anybody out there has a film of cars racing at the Rhinebeck Speedway, could you call the station and let us know? Because I know it was at night, but in 1950s they had movie cameras. Somebody must have filmed. No one has any film of the cars racing at the Speedway. So everyone's very excited about this fun program. It should be
And
a
that's
great
the
event.
weekend of the 6th, 7th, and the 8th, correct?
Yes.
Your event's
But
the
they're-
7th and the 8th.
Yes.
The
They
film
weren't
festival is the
delivering
6th and the 7th,
May.
I believe.
They weren't delivering contraband up here. They were doing moonlighting and whiskey
Moonshine.
glasses, moonshine
yeah.
and stuff.
No, the driver said that the midget cars were invented because they were faster than the cop cars.
Right,
For the moonshiners to get away from
that's
them.
right.
That weekend's also the
Greatest-
same weekend as the Short Play Festival, the Hudson Valley Short Play Festival. It's the second annual
Where's that
of the
held?
Rhinebeck Center for Performing Arts. And it was great
Is
last.
that what you're shooting then?
That's what I'm
So
shooting.
you're
that
shooting
weekend.
that, you're
Yeah.
shooting what, the car show? But that's not for, that's for
That's for the historical
that's for that
society.
big project.
And it's the same weekend
You're
as
not turning
Apple
that
Blossom.
around.
Yes.
What?
It's
The
that
The
same
car show, you're
weekend.
not turning it around that
First
same
week of May,
No.
right?
Jim's gonna work on
Do we-
that.
We'll figure it out.
6, 7, 8.
Yeah, will we have new cameras? I can shoot Apple Blossom.
I don't know.
Really?
Hopefully we will.
Yeah.
Well, I'm only using, Jim is gonna be using a
I'm thinking
camera.
of these.
Jim's gonna be using his own camera.
Ah,
I'm gonna be using one camera, so we'll have at least one camera available. Is your son playing this? Oh, you're gonna let me do this.
yes.
Don't let me leave. Let's do it before we
Okay,
leave.
that
Is your
would
son
be-
playing for the Apple Blossom Festival?
I'm gonna ask him.
What does he
What?
play?
They usually.
He's got a really great band.
Really?
Yeah, you should check him out.
Yeah.
Guess what?
He plays what?
He's in a band,
Oh.
Yeah,
Scott Butler and the Remnants.
okay, that sounds good.
And he's
Oh, they're great.
guitarist,
They're
right?
terrific. Yeah.
He's a guitarist.
Yes. He's
See,
a guitarist.
the problem is always the weather. Nobody does anything in the winter. And then the minute it gets warm, May is like packed with events before
Right.
July and August, everybody goes away. And
Yeah.
then September is again packed every
Right.
single weekend with
Yeah.
country
Mhm.
house tours and all kinds of events.
Right.
And then it gets cold and people stop. So it's like May and September that is packed with events, and that's why they're all crammed in the same days.
Yeah.
Mm.
People
We
get
have-
very busy.
We have on our calendar 200 spaces for 200 slides. I think today there are 185.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's high, and this time of year it does get high, but we're like right there.
I wanted to ask you, do you get the events from the Rhinebeck Fairgrounds?
Some of them, not all.
Okay.
No.
Because I know they had a master list last night at the Village of Rhinebeck meeting,
Oh,
and I
should
wanted,
put us-
I'll ask for it if you want, I'll have it
Yeah.
forwarded to you.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Have to be, not-for-profit events?
Yeah, but that's, you know, I read
Fairgrounds
through
is.
them, and I don't post things that, you know, I read through them, but yes, everything should come,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
should get the fair program.
yes.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a way of presenting what the community needs to know without it being commercial.
Mhm.
Kind of like how Donald Trump did all his products and
Yeah, right, his product placement, right,
Why is it-
Right.
shopping network.
for his bottle, his water company that's out of business, his steaks that are no
All right.
longer.
They're all gonna come
Be
back.
careful,
Yeah.
because then we're gonna have to give everybody else equal time.
Right.
We have to get Cruz
Bernie.
and Bernie
Yeah, let's get them
and
all.
Marco, little Marco.
Like a little Marco.
Years.
He did win Puerto
The
Rico.
election. All righty, so,
Okay?
all right, everybody enjoy, we're enjoying this almost 80-degree day on the 9th of March. It's a foretelling of spring to come. We will see everyone next
I'll
month.
make a motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye, aye, aye.
You're adjourned. See you in April.
5:49.